flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Just want to remind the board members too that when you speak, to just speak into the microphones. It sounds okay here, but the people at home have a hard time hearing.
This is to advise those present at this meeting of the Board of Education of the Pinelands Regional School District in the County of Ocean that adequate notice of this meeting was provided in accordance with the Open Public Meeting Act. The notice has been posted in the Board of Education office, junior high school, and high school buildings. The notice was also mailed to the press of Atlantic City and filed with municipal clerks of Bass River, Eagleswood, and Little Egg Harbor Township and the Borough of Tuckerton. Roll call was previously recorded. So we'll move on to item number 5, approval of minutes. We need a motion to approve items A, 1, and 2, open session, regular session, and strategic planning meeting. Can I have a motion, please?
Motion.
A second?
Second.
Any questions?
Okay, Mr. Bartlett,
Yes.
Miss Betty,
Yes.
Miss Fagan,
They were letting her in.
Yes, I'm here. Sorry.
Hannadel,
Yes.
Miss Martin. Yes. Mr. Rosetti,
Yes, but I wasn't here for the strategic planning, so I must abstain.
okay, noted. Mr. Dalio,
Yes.
sorry, skip Miss Zimmerman,
Yes, and I abstain from strategic planning as well.
and Mrs. McVeigh.
Yes.
Miss Betty, you would have to as
Abstain.
well.
Already, the report of the superintendent. I gave you Dr. McCooley.
All right, thank you, everyone. So strategic planning was held on October 11th. We had 67 people attending, so it was an absolutely wonderful turnout. We developed some strengths and weaknesses. We had a state of the schools overview, and it just was a really wonderful time. A lot was accomplished. It was great to see all of those stakeholders present. Our next meeting is November the 15th at 5 o'clock. It's here as well. We're going to have some light refreshments again. It'll be about an hour, so it's not too long. So please attend. If you have not the last one, you can still come. And if you were there, we'd like to see you there again. So next one, November 15th. The Pinelands experience was last Friday and was a huge success. Thank you to Michelle Molesky, Jen Levins, Ms. Thurber, and Eric Shore, and all of the staff that attended. The countless hours of planning and preparation paid off, and your hard work is appreciated. The Pinelands Alumni and Friends meeting will take place this Thursday in this room at 6 o'clock. You do not have to be an alumni, you could be friends. So please attend, and they do a lot of great work, some fundraising and wonderful things for the school. Homecoming, our game is this Friday at 7, and the dance is Saturday night. Hope to see everyone there. I love the large crowds at the football games. It's awesome. We don't have a Here to Help video this month. We are working on editing one that was prepared, but we are still moving ahead with that campaign. Sit with the Soup is taking place October 19th at 1 o'clock. It is a Zoom. If you want to Zoom in and talk to me about anything you'd like, or just give some suggestions about the district, or you just want to say hello, 1 o'clock, and I will send you the link to that. Just shoot me an email. We had 25 student council members going to a leadership conference on November 1st. This is sponsored by Ocean County College, and we appreciate all of their donations and the help with that. I'm going to say this wrong, culvert filter was installed today on the bog. Amanda went over to go watch, and it came out really neat. It's a great experience for our students to go through that process. And thank you to Mr. Arduin for being an integral part of that and really using our resources on site to teach a class. So it's amazing. And he's been excited about it, and he's just doing such a great job with it. So thank you, Mr. Arduin. One concerning piece of information, we've been fighting fearlessly once again to keep our funding for school-based youth services. Ms. Hannadel has been on all the Zooms. Betty Ann's been participating. Ms. Gonzalez has been there with us. She's in the audience tonight. And it is just such an awesome program that we need here. We've had it for many years. We have to sustain it. We are fighting that this funding is essential to our school district, and we're going to continue to fight. So If we send correspondence that we need you to respond to in support of it, just respond to the emails. But know that we're not giving up this fight, and we're gonna, keep our program here if we can. And then lastly, I don't know if you've seen the pictures on Facebook or heard about it, but our mascot was voted #1 in Ocean County, and WOBM came out. They did some pictures, and we'd like to celebrate that a little bit further because we are proud of the positive press with a guest for the evening. Yay! Yep, you want to just come around and take a picture with, maybe in the corner there, with our president and vice president?
Over here in the middle. What a great mascot.
All right, thank you. All right, and now our Wildcat can go do their homework, but thank you for coming. You are awesome and helping us win Best in Ocean County. Woo! That's all I have.
Nice to see smiles on faces. Item number 7, presentations. We have our items A through E that will be presented. Is there anybody that wants to do the presentation?
Is that the spring assessment?
Assessment data presentation.
It's going to be all of them, but they're just going to
Oh, they're gonna
consecutively go up.
continue?
Yeah.
Good evening. So this is a group effort. So we have some slides to share with you tonight. And we are going to be looking at a great deal of data as well as some goals. So I wanted to start, and we have shared with the board some advanced placement data. My board reports have included them over the last couple months. Just to get an idea, you can see over the last 5 years, our number of AP students has stayed pretty consistent, starting at 156 in 2018, 126, 206, 179, and 179 last year. So we are about the same with our AP students. The number of exams that are taken, you can see in 2018, we had 241 exams. Oh, did I do that? Did someone do that? Sorry. Okay, we're back. The 2020 year actually had the highest number of 439, and last year we had close to 399 exams. Looking at students that scored 3 or higher, we have 81, 72, 128, with a greater number of exams taken that year, 82 and 88. So looking to build that curve up again and increase our numbers with students scoring 3 or above. And if you look at the bottom, you can see the percent of AP students with scores or 3 or of 3 or higher. So we have in 2018, 51%, 57, 62. We had a little dip in 2021 with 45% and close to 50% last year. So again, keeping an eye on that. ELA data from the spring of 2022. And I think it's very important for you to know that our students are faring very well. The 7th grade students have not taken an exam or a standardized test since they're in 3rd grade, to give it a little perspective. So really, again, we're looking at this not with so much a critical eye this year, because the students have not been tested over a course of 3 years with COVID. So I think this is a good slide, because if you look at our 7th grade number of students who met or exceeded, we had 35% in seventh grade. Our B factor group, which means that schools that are also in a B factor group, I have this printed out if anyone wants to look at it, are Central, Lakewood, Manchester, Little Egg, and Eagleswood, just to get an idea. That is the second from the lowest when it comes to socioeconomics. So A schools would be Camden, Trenton, and those kind of schools. So we are obviously challenged in the area of socioeconomic status. So therefore, we are deemed a district factor group of B. So that's that second column. So when you compare us to how those schools in that factor group did, they were 38%. And then the state is 52%. So the district factor groups go all the way up to J, just to get an idea. And the highest factor groups in Ocean County are in the FG group, and those schools are Point Pleasant Beach and Borough and Southern, just to give you an idea. So we don't even have any schools in Ocean County that are in the GH, I, or J range. So when we're compared to the state, you know, you're talking about students with a lot more advantages in that area. So grade 8, we had 39% of our students meeting or exceeding. In our B factor group, 38%, and the state was 52. And in 9th grade in ELA, 29%, B factor is 30, and the state was 48%. And you can see all at the bottom. Okay. Can you advance it? I don't know why I can't. Thank you. All right, for math. Math is a national crisis. This is not a Pinelands issue. This is not a New Jersey issue. We had major issues with teaching math during COVID. And you can see that, again, looking at the comparison in grade 7, 22% of our students either met or exceeded. In our B factor group, only 21%. So we are really in line with our peers, our peer group. The state only had 34% students meeting or exceeding. In grade 8, we only had 6%. Remember, the grade 8 students who are not in Algebra 1 are usually more at-risk students, students who are lower performing. So you would expect them to do a little less, have less proficiency there. We had 6%. Our B factor is only 11%, and the state was only 16%. Looking at our middle school algebra, so students that are taking algebra in 8th grade, usually higher achieving students, 68% were meeting or exceeding. In our B factor group, 64%. And algebra as a whole in the state, only 35% are meeting or exceeding. In our high school algebra, much lower, 8%, B factor group 9%, and comparing that to all of the algebra kids. We didn't have data on how the students did in geometry for our B factor group, but in our school, it was 12% of our students met or exceeded. And the state was 44%, and those are the math scores. Okay, it's working. And here's the science data. Our students take an assessment in both grades 8 and 11 for science. Our students had 8% meeting or exceeding in grade 8, 16% in the state. We did not have information on our B factor group for the science data. And for grade 11, 18%, and the state was 29. Okay, I'm gonna turn it over to Mrs. Lichtenwalner for DLM.
Thank goodness I don't need to change slides. I just have one slide. Good evening. So this is our data for dynamic learning maps, and that is our alternative assessment for our students that are unable to take the state assessment. This is really an assessment that's embedded in the instruction. So the staff works one-on-one with the students and follows the procedures set out from the Department of Ed, and the students answer questions. And they're rated in the 3 areas of math, ELA, and science for our 8th and 9th or 8th and 11th grade, excuse me. So as you can see, we do have some students that are emerging, but the majority of our kids are above approaching the target. I was really excited when I got these data scores back to see that we have several students that are at the target. So they're meeting the targets that were set forth for them individually in ELA and math and science. And then we even had a student who was advanced in their dynamic learning math scores. So it's really great. These scores have been improving since I started. So I'm excited for what our teachers are doing with our students, and we see them emerging even when they're unable to take the regular assessment.
Good evening, everyone. I am very happy to be talking to you about our Access for L scores tonight. ELS stands for English Language Learners. And actually the state is moving toward MLL, although the test is still called Access for ELS, ELLS, and MLL stands for Multi-Language Learners. So we're trying to make it more of a positive that students who are in the ESL, English as a Second Language program, actually have a leg up because they are multilingual students. So before I share the data with you, I just wanted to explain a little bit about the rating scale for this. So for the Access for ELS, there are 6 different levels. And once you hit levels 4, 5, and 6, that is where our children are starting to approach being close to fluent in reading, writing, speaking, and listening. So anything 1 through 3, those are our students who are very new to the language. So 1 would be somebody who has very little English language skills, and it moves up. 4.5 is highlighted there because that is the score that we're looking for to exit students from our ESL program. Once students hit that 4.5 number on the Access for ELS test, that's when we start looking at all of their other data, looking at their grades, speaking to their teachers, and holding some meetings to determine are they ready to move out of the ESL program. Last year, we only had 7 students in our ESL program at the time of the Access test, and our students did very well. All of our students fell into the 3.0 to 3.9 range. That means that they are right on the cusp of being considered fluent in the 4 areas: reading, writing, speaking, and listening. If you look all the way on the right-hand side, it also breaks down how many years they're in ESL. And actually, that's a little deceiving because anytime a student comes into our district, even if they were a 7th grader in one of our sending districts, that number starts from 0 again. So some of the students that are on here that are listed as 1 year in an ESL program, that's just how the state marks it. They might have been in the program for a few years prior to coming here. But this is looks really great for us as we're looking forward to this year because we're expecting that a number of our students are going to exit the ESL program. One other data point that is pertinent for you to know is that our ESL enrollment numbers have been going up tremendously this year. And the chart that you see in front of you charts from 2010 until now. And we have pretty consistently stayed within that 9 to 13-ish range. And right now we have 17 students who are in our ESL program. And that is something that is not specific to Pinelands. The numbers of students coming in who are multi-language learners are going up tremendously all over the state of New Jersey. So those were really great scores, and I'm looking forward to seeing how our students do this year. Kim, I saw your hand up.
I'd have to have something. So what I was wondering is, why the 4 to 5? Why not wait until they're 6 so that they have that? So, but then you just said something about they actually are fluent when they leave. So I'm confused.
So the score, and this is the score of 4.5 is actually a national score that they're looking for on the exam. You can be fluent.
But not take the test.
Not that you don't take the test well, but you can be fluent in different areas, but the 4.5 is their overall score. So you might score a 6 in listening and speaking because as a student, you're in school, and not only are you in our English as a Second Language program, but you're in all of your other classes as well, and you're speaking and listening to people all day. But then when it comes to taking a test on writing and reading, the comprehension level might be a little lower there. So you can have students who score higher or lower on the various aspects of the test, but the 4.5 is their overall comprehension that they are going to be successful in an academic setting moving forward once they hit that score. Thank you so much.
Good evening, everyone. I'm here to discuss our HIB self-assessment. Every year, we have to do a self-assessment regarding the implementation of the Anti-Bullying Bill of Rights. We put together a team for each building and we review all the different core elements to determine where we score. One thing I want to mention is the highest score that you can receive on this is a 78, which I know is very odd for testing. You think of the 100. I'm going to ask you to move it forward because I'm not sure which button on this one. I don't want to mess it up, or is it going to go? Oh, it did it. Okay. So let's take a look at our high school team. Our high school team is always comprised of a parent. We usually have the SRO, the school nurse, and we have different staff members as well as administration. And they get together and they review all the core elements and all the cases through the year. And when we get to anything that's confidential, then the parent has to leave for that portion of the meeting. I have listed the last 4 years of our self-assessment. We've averaged a 77 throughout the different elements. And each year we look at different things as far as training. We contract out with Door and Bus. Are they receiving training on bullying and things to look at? We evaluate some of the areas that are we finding that incidents are occurring in an unsupervised area, such as changing classes and figuring out different parts of the building, or is it happening in a locker room, and things that we can do to improve overall. Our junior high team, same idea, is that we have the administration as well as our SRO, and we always have a parent as well. It's really important to have different people on the team so that you have different stakeholders with different aspects and different opinions to say what they believe based on some of the reports. Our junior high score is listed as well. So the process for this is we fill out the paperwork, we submit it to the state. They then review all of our documents. They review our school safety team data, which is a different report, compare to make sure that our information lines up with our HIB reports, our HIB training that we've submitted, and then they issue us a HIB grade. So right now, if you look at our school website, you'll see the grade for the previous year. We then submit this and then they'll publish our grade again. And then I'll be back in a few months to say this is our HIB grade. This self-assessment process, I don't think we should ever be perfect. It says 78, we should never be perfect. Every year we should be saying what area should we do better. So for me, I don't want a perfect score. I always want to say we need to work on something different on the chart to make us the best place it could be. Right, and our next area would be Mr. Henderson. But before I turn it over, does anyone have any questions about the HIB self-assessment? Yes, Kim.
I noticed that trainings kind of went up. I think I've been here 7 years, 8 years. It's kind of stabilized at 15.
That's the highest you can have in that area. So if you see the score in yellow, it will tell you underneath the yellow, the highest you're able to obtain in that specific area. So we do have multiple trainings constantly. We have our online trainings as well as our monthly. Our SROs go into the classrooms. So we always do really well in that area as well, as far as training. But the max number is in the yellow of what you're able to obtain. I like to list the last 4 years so that you can see the different areas that we would like to improve upon. It's really important when you're hiring new staff. Our district does a great job with all of our in-service training to provide a lot of the materials ahead of time, but then there's always constant reviewing of things throughout the school year. Anyone else have any questions? All right, well, thank you. I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Henderson.
All right, so our goals for the high school are to communication and increased parent contacts. So contact. So some of the things we're doing with that, we're giving teachers good news postcards to send out to parents when they see their students doing something notable. We stole the junior high's idea with having positive write-ups, and we're adding that as well for kids who, again, just need to be recognized for the great things they're doing in school. I'm going to offer quarterly meetings at the high school to meet with any parents to discuss ideas or concerns they might have. And today I established and sent out Our first meeting will be Thursday for our key communicators. I identified 7 staff members from different departments around the building, just so that we can touch base throughout the school year, share ideas, share concerns, and what things that we could do to make the high school better. And the other goal is attendance and student accountability. So we're really pushing at the high school to try to get us back to normal, right? And so no more COVID, we're done with that. And the expectations, I think we're definitely lifting the bar. And the Smart Pass that we implemented this year is definitely a step in the right direction as it relates to student behavior. So there's that. We've instituted pass restrictions, for students who leave class too often. We're strictly enforcing the discipline code. And we're planning this year teacher assigned detentions from 1:45 to 2:20 at the end of the day. That's an option for the teachers. As far as attendance is concerned, we're doing a daily attendance percentage. I monitor that every day to see where we're at with that. We're identifying students who are showing up to school late, and there's going to be consequences for that. 5 days is a verbal warning, 10 days is a lunch detention, 15 days, 3 lunch detentions, and a big one for our seniors who sometimes tend to get here late is they're going to possibly lose their driving privileges for 2 weeks. We're going to implement an attendance success plan for students who've accrued over 10 days absent. And we're holding monthly meetings with the attendance officer to discuss action plans and possible court appearances. We're also doing some positive things. So starting, I'll probably have the flyer done tomorrow. Every quarter, students who have perfect attendance, they're going to go into a raffle, and we're going to raffle off earbuds. Well, we're going to start with earbuds, and then I surveyed all the students to see what they wanted. They wanted things like MacBooks, earbuds, all kinds of tech stuff. So I want to offer that up as an incentive too for students to show up every day. And of course, we have our Pride program, which incentivizes kids who are in good standing, so that they have to be here in good standing, good attendance in order to attend our events. So that's what's happening in the high school. Any questions?
Good evening, Dr. McCooley, members of the board. Eric Shore, principal at the junior high school. So I guess our process kind of started to begin at the end of last school year. And we kind of reestablished our leadership team, which is eventually going to morph into our SCIP committee, school improvement panel. So we, throughout the course of the year, we kept hearing things and it seemed like everyone was going 100 miles an hour. So at one of our staff meetings, myself and Ms. Thurber, kind of just jotted everything down that our staff was concerned about. And we wanted to let them know, hey, we hear you. How can we make things better at the junior high school? Which led to our leadership committee, which we met a few times before the end of school and continued to do our work over the summertime in preparation for this upcoming school year. So when we established the district and the board goals, the way that works is that once those are established, it kind of filters down to the building level. We meet with our leadership team, our SCIP committee. We review what we discussed and kind of build our goals that way, which filters down to the building goals, then to my own personal goals. And so one of the things which I referenced is we came up with our ROAR program, which is an acronym for respect, ownership, responsibility, and what am I missing? Thank you, awareness. Okay. Hey, the Pinelands experience was a long day on Friday. I'm still not recovered yet. All right. No, I'm kidding. So, basically we took it upon ourselves as a unit, one unit, not just administration, and say, hey, we want to make things better. We all have to be on the same page. So we kind of came up with we opened school a little bit differently this year, and each department person was responsible to review and discuss how we want things to happen, to the way we behave ourselves in the cafeteria, to the way we walk in the hallway, to the way we talk about adults. And I would probably saying this is year 25 for me. It had to be probably one of the most positive openings to school that we had, but it was one message, one consistent message from all of us, letting them know, hey, this is the way we're going to treat cell phones. It's just not Mr. Shore, Ms. Thurber. This is the way it's going to happen in Ms. Molesky's class, Mr. Francis' class. This is the way it's going to be. So as part of that, obviously, we had a very positive year. And as Mr. Henderson mentioned, one of the things we implemented is our positive referral system, which, we always kind of always had to deal with the negative. So anytime a student got written up, it came to us and it was always about the negative. So to kind of expand the positive, we implemented a positive behavioral system. So just like a student would be written up for doing something that necessarily wasn't correct, now we want to recognize the students that are doing something positive, and we treat it just as we would a discipline write-up. It comes to us, we call them down, myself and Ms. Thurber meet with the students, we try to do that together, we give them a little something, we contact the parents, the letter goes home, because at the end of the day, we always hear about the negative stuff, but I can tell you right now, I have 92 positive referrals sitting on my desk. I've always said the positive outweighs the negative. You always just hear about the negative. So now we're having a way that we can show you, hey, these are all the great things, from picking up a dollar, finding earpods on the track, picking up trash, and we're recognizing that. And along with that, I believe that's, the first step in really changing the culture and really promoting the positive. And it also gives the students the idea, because we let them know what teacher, writes them up for a positive. So it's a positive interaction. It's been very good, very positive. So knock on wood, we can continue it that way, which led to the rural program. We will have, rural events, kids that are recognized for positive referral. First one, we have an ice cream truck coming October 28th, but, we'll do different events throughout the, the course of the school year. Communication is always key. So we've just tried to, just keep up what we've continued to know. I felt we've done a pretty good job of parent communication, but we did start a junior high school Facebook page this year. So it's just another outlet to, post information, get information out. And again, we're making more phone calls because we're calling home for all of the positive referrals, as well. And then attendance has, been an ongoing goal. So we'll continue to, to monitor attendance. Right now, we do have our attendance committee. Attendance has been pretty solid within like the 94 to 96 report range. So we're in a good spot, but we'll continue to monitor that. So that was kind of it in a nutshell. Sorry, it was a little bit long-winded, but thank you very much.
Mr. Shore.
Yeah,
You answered
yes.
the
Is
last
there any
part-
questions? I'm sorry. Yes.
The last part, you answered a question I was going to ask you. You said 94%, 96%.
It was in that range. I had to look. I actually just looked at the chart today, but I feel like our attendance rate has been in that 94 to 96.
I know it's only it's mid-October. That's a question I forgot to ask Mr. Henderson. What are we at right now?
They're pretty similar.
Troy.
You were very similar.
We're about 6 to 8% on a daily that's out.
Okay.
And we're also tracking the chronic students too, students who are chronic absent, because that's one of the things that the state looks at, is our chronic absentee percentage. So we're hoping some of the things we're putting in place help kind of alleviate some of those chronic absences.
All right, thank you, guys.
Yep. So, anyone else? Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. And excuse me. Oh, certainly.
Oh, I'm sorry, we have school-based. Yeah, now, yep, absolutely.
We can't forget about school-based. So I can't even see what my numbers are up there, so please forgive me. Duly noted for my next graph next time. But school-based youth services has been in the district for 35 years. So we're definitely part of the fabric of the community here. And as Dr. McCooley had said earlier, we are on the chopping block for the DCF budget. Of course, not Pinelands, and I do appreciate everyone's support to date, as the board members here, our staff, our students, and their parents and the community. We will continue to push that forward. But without seeing the numbers clearly, our events, which are our family programs like our paint nights, our male role model, female role model breakfast, or things of that nature where we include the parents, or trips or other activities, or us bringing in presenters for like suicide prevention and awareness or vaping. We have a target of like 4,000 and some for the junior high and close to that in the high school. Of course, that is a duplicated number, right? But know that our reach is every student in the building. The other number on there, I believe, is our individual. I think the high school might be 350 something.
That means 350 students in the high school building, which was like 33% last year, did receive individualized services. And that could be, mental health supportive counseling, social skills, healthy youth development, employment, things of that nature. And I can't see what the junior high is, but I think they're roughly 41% of the population. Again, that's an individual basis that is non-duplicated. What's important to note is that the state grant only requires the high school to have 270 unduplicated, and we're certainly, exceeding that quite a bit. And the middle school only requires 170 unduplicated. And again, we are exceeding that. So next slide real quick, Jimmy. As you know, again, we are on the chopping block. I will keep pushing forward the mission of school-based youth services, not only in our community, which is what I care about the most, but also around the state, because it is impacting at least 100,000 students that, again, has been woven into the fabric of those communities. But it is something, to consider, because if we are removed, I feel like Pinelands, definitely needs our services, and it's something to, prepare for, for our future budgets. So anybody have any questions?
I don't know. This really gets to me, the fact that you're on the chopping block again, especially now, because I think it's pretty obvious just how hard it is for parents, families to get appointments with counselors and any type of service like that outside of the school.
Correct.
So to even suggest that it's taken away from inside of this building and just added more so.
Yes, I agree wholeheartedly with your sentiment. It's just, without getting into the, weeds and the thick of it, it's just more of a political agenda, to, now put hubs throughout the state, 15 throughout the state. And they, certainly believe that that's going to service every school in the state of New Jersey. And while I commend any effort to try and, have a greater reach for our students of New Jersey everywhere, it is very different. These hubs that they are suggesting are very different than what school-based youth services provides, and nor could they even hope to replicate it with a hub type service. So we are pushing forward, many of us, including, Board of Ed members, Dr. McCooley, myself, and other school-based around the state, to hope that legislature will, move forward and in the hopes of preserving our programs.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for having me again. So our 2022 homecoming court was just announced in school on Friday, and we're really excited for the dance this Saturday. If you are available, come out to the football game this Friday night at 7 p.m. The Queen will get crowned in our annual homecoming halftime festivities. The past week, guidance counselors have been coming into our senior English classes and giving presentations on how to plan for next year, our future. Grades 9 and 10 took the PSATs this past week. SONJ Wildcat chapters hosting a unified harvest dance on October 28th, 2022 from 7 to 10. Everyone's welcome. Pizza and snacks will be provided, and tickets are only $5. High School Interact is volunteering at the event, and Interact's Dress Down Day was a huge success. Our generous staff in both the junior high school and high school donated over 100 bags of candy for the harvest dance. Student government hosted a Pink Out t-shirt fundraiser to raise money for Susan G. Komen for a cure, and sold almost 200 shirts, which Willie was shocked about. It was so great. We will be making our donation later this month. The turnout at the Pink Out game was a huge success, and if you haven't seen the pictures, they're on the Cat Eye. Lastly, just a reminder, the extended learning program is still offering free SAT and ASVAB prep classes right after school. The monthly calendar is posted on the school website. And that's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, I'm Emily Rucheski. I'm a seventh grader at the junior high school, and thank you so much for having me. Seventh grade Pinelands experience was held on October 14th at the UMCA of Pines in Medford, New Jersey. The weather was beautiful and the staff and students were beyond excited to participate in the event. The event was roaring good time, and we would like to thank Pinelands Board of Education and Dr. McCooley for supporting this great experience and tradition for our students. Once a Wildcat, always a Wildcat. Thank you, Mr. Francia and Mrs. Molesky. The junior high school started a new program to promote positive accountability. Our new roar saying respect, ownership, awareness, and responsibility. We have our first reward event on October 28th, which is a visit from the Chillin' Out ice cream truck. The junior high school has a Facebook page. It's called the Pinelands Regional Junior High School. And we have been sharing a lot of information about clubs and sports available at the junior high school students. Please join us to stay connected. National Junior Honor Society will be hosting an event for honor veterans on November 15th at the Junior High School Media Center. Please reach out to Miss Maggie Brady if you're someone who is a veteran that would like to be interested in attending. Junior high school makeup pictures are on October 28th. And finally, the fall band concert is November 22nd at the high school. Thank you so much. Have a good day.
Thank you so much. And if we have students in the audience who would like to get home, maybe have dinner since we had a soccer game today, or have homework, you're welcome to excuse yourself at this time. And we thank you so much for being here.
Good evening. We now have Dr. Struther. She's participating virtually via Zoom, and her slide presentation is up. Dr. Struthers is, our leader for the JAG program, and I'll let you present her exciting news that she has for us.
Thank you so much, and good evening, everyone. I am thrilled to be here to present the results of the Jobs for America's Graduates New Jersey program, and pleased to announce the awards that Pinelands Regional High School received this year. Next slide, please. Jobs for America's Graduates, or JAG, is a state-based national nonprofit organization dedicated to supporting young people of great promise. JAG resides in 38 states, serves over 65,000 students nationally, and has delivered amazing results over its 40-year history. We are committed to serving youth to help them reach economic and academic success. JAG is a career readiness program that assists students in preparing for jobs and careers. Our comprehensive supports include teaching employability skills and personal growth, leadership, and leveraging post-secondary opportunities that include 2- and 4-year college attendance, training, and certification programs. We meet our annual goals through the JAG Advantage, which is a culmination of project-based learning in the classroom, trauma-informed care and instruction, and employer engagement to establish partnerships and post-secondary opportunities. The JAG program is aligned with New Jersey state standards and the district's goals, ensuring that our JAG leaders obtain what we call a toolkit for success after graduation. The JAG program provides follow-up services for recent graduates for 1 year, ensuring that they remain employed in college or in training. Specialists enter data throughout the year and collect it at the end of the year to determine if each program meets national performance standards. Next slide. And now I'm pleased to present awards and national recognition received this year for their performance outcomes. These awards are based on data entered throughout the year and for the most recent JAG graduates, in this case, the class of 2021. The awards were presented in July at the National Training Seminar. Next slide. The first award is our submission of JAG New Jersey Specialist of the Year. Of the 11 specialists in the network, we submitted 2 nominees. New Jersey's criteria for this award are based on national performance outcomes, administrative acumen, timely database entry, fidelity to the model, and follow-up services. Of the 1,400 total specialists in the national network, only 93 specialists, or 6.6%, received this award. Congratulations to Mrs. Maureen Nooner for being selected as a specialist for the 3rd year in a row. Next slide, please. And here are the outcomes for the class of 2021 from the Pinelands Regional High School JAG program this past year. National outcomes are based on graduation rate, employment rate, full-time employment rate, positive outcomes rate, which includes either employment, internship, certification, or military service, and further education rate. We have included the connectivity rate to highlight the standard set for each specialist to remain in contact with at least 95% of their JAG leaders for 1 year. Congratulations on receiving once again this much deserved award. Next slide. Next slide, please. Prior slide, thank you. Thank you. The next award is national recognition for meeting and exceeding national performance standards for the full network. This is our first time receiving this award as a state. Of the 38 states in the national network, 20 states received this award this year. These outcomes you see show the results of 9 sites that service grades 9 through 12. This was certainly a team effort and took a great deal of work and commitment to meet this milestone. Next slide. It's been an amazing partnership with Pinelands Regional School District, and I'd like to extend our thanks and appreciation to you, Dr. McCooley, the school board, Ms. Karen Kinney, Principal Henderson, Mrs. Nooner, and administrators and staff who have supported this important work. We are grateful for the opportunity to support the students and contribute to their futures. If you'd like to learn more about the JAG program, I invite you to visit our website and social media to see our program in action. Congratulations again for these deserving honors. And now I'll turn it over to Mrs. Nooner, Specialist of the Year and superstar amongst our team, to present some special items to the team.
Thank you, Dr. Struthers. Thank you, everybody. I just wanted to give out a few awards because I think you've heard this before, that it takes a village to raise a child and it takes a village to run a JAG program. And I could not possibly do that with all the people that help me here at school. I do not do this on my own by any stretch of the imagination. So I just have a few awards here that I'd like to give out. My first one is to thank you to Ms. Karen Kenny, my supervisor, for all your support, direction, and great ideas about the program. You're always there to help me with any problem or project, and I truly appreciate that. You're also an amazing team of counselors who help put the students they need that need the program and can benefit into the program most in JAG. The counselors are always ready to help me with any issues or questions I have, and they're always there for all of our students. So thank you. Thank the intervention team. This year it's Lindsay Williscroft, Sarah O'Neill, and last year it was Jamie McKee and Heather Constantino. They take the students out and help them and sit with them and get them to literally graduate, to pass their classes. They just do a wonderful job with the students, and all the teachers are like that. They'll just give up their lunch times, they'll give up their prep periods, and it's their goal. So I really appreciate that. I have an award for SBYS, especially Lauren and Janelle, for working with us throughout the year with our workshops on stress management, listening, and communication. Walker High School, and so many other topics. We have a separate thank you to Amanda Feldman for helping us with resume writing, interviewing skills, and helping the students find jobs. She's a great coach and one of the reasons why we win in our career development conference. So thank you. I have to thank Jim Ardwin and the Cat Eye. He's always asking me for pictures and getting our news out and about, and all the great things that we're doing. And Leanne Lacuter and Cameron Barr also for helping us with our career development conference. We wouldn't win the prizes we do without them. I also want to thank all the speakers that come in and teach the kids and give up of their personal time to come in to help the kids. We have such an array of speakers that come in every day, and you're always reading them for us. So I appreciate that, Jackie. And we'd like to thank Mr. Henderson and the administration team for supporting our ideas and working through all the details that make our projects happen. Thank you so much. He's always so positive and always so willing to do whatever it takes to get us through it. Thank
She's
you.
amazing.
Of course, last but not least, it goes to Dr. McCooley, Gina, and the school board for being behind us, for bringing the program to the school, and just for being so supportive of always of our students. So we appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay, she wrote that too.
All righty, moving on to item number 8, our work session, board forum. Does anyone from the board have anything they would like to share with us tonight?
I can.
Thank you.
So I just want to thank Janelle. I think we really don't realize how much work, I mean, not just school-based, but it's so horrible now that she has to now fight for their jobs again for the second time in 2 years. So it's taking her away from the job that she does the best, which is serving our thousands of kids in our schools. But she's a wonderful advocate, even though she doesn't think she, knows how to do it. She's doing a great job. And it's really important because, school-based is just so integral to our community. It's so integral to our schools, but it needs to be codified. It needs to become something. And there is a law that is going to be looked at, and it's basically coming out to see if they'll vote it in that they keep it. But in the meantime, we have to get through this process, and then maybe they'll actually codify it so she does not have to do this every time. But we really owe her a huge debt. She and the other directors are now spending all their time advocating for their own jobs, and they're losing school-based people already because this is the second threat to their jobs. So not in our school yet that I know of, but in other schools, they have resignations, they're having everything. And it's just, it's 90 programs in 21 counties, and they want to reduce it to 15 hubs. It's just nothing about it makes sense. So if you haven't written, the deadline was extended. So please, call your state people. Thanks.
Anyone else?
Can I ask a question?
Sure can.
How's strategic planning go? Anything come up? Any good ideas floating out?
So at this point, what we did was we went through a state of schools, which goes over all of our programs, some test scores, things like that data. And then everyone's in breakout groups, and in their group, they go over strengths of the district and things that they think may be weaknesses or things to work on. And then we went through overall themes. So the rep from school boards went through that, and we talked about, as everyone walked around the room and saw everybody's posters, what common themes are you seeing? So things that are great about the district and some things to work on. So the next time we meet, we're going to come up with some type of overall goals and define that a little bit further. And then the last meeting will be an overall plan for the upcoming year, in which the administrative team will then develop a 3 to 5 year plan based on those goals with indicators and how we're going to accomplish it. So if you missed the first one, you should attend in November.
Yeah, no problem. I'm just
Yeah.
curious if any common themes came up, anything.
There were comments.
Yeah, I mean, there were common things. Some of the good things, they feel like, there's a lot of support, very positive initiatives happening. Some of the things were, discussing bringing back honors classes for some of the students instead of just having CP and AP. Cell phones seem to be an issue, and just that message of consistent discipline. And I've already done some work on that with the staff here in terms of surveying and stuff, and I'm going to meet with them, I believe, tomorrow. But yeah, I mean, I thought it was good. It was very good. A lot of
Energy was
information.
amazing.
The energy was great. And it was just such a great turnout. So we were pleased with that.
One of the other common themes too was the greatness of our school-based youth service program.
Yes.
And how we certainly don't want to lose that. So that was definitely one of the common themes. Anyone else?
That the results from the meeting are posted somewhere, or
So yes, and I don't want to misspeak. I know she does send the summary.
the
and
summary will
then
be sent out?
We can post that on the website so everybody can see all the phases. I haven't gotten that from her yet. Marianne basically types out everything that happened on that evening.
Before we move on, I just wanted to report out that Kim and I had the pleasure of joining Dr. McCooley and Gina Frasca at the Ocean County School Boards Association meeting that was held October 3rd in Toms River. These meetings provide professional learning experience for the board members, updates in legislation and regulations affecting our schools. The highlighted agenda that evening was a discussion that focused on the relationship between board members and their superintendents. Presenting on this topic were 3 distinguished Ocean County superintendents, including our Dr. McCooley. All 3 superintendents stressed the importance of trust and respect between board members and the superintendent. Other common themes were effective communication and respecting the chain of command. All 3 superintendents stressed the importance of having no surprises. Working towards solutions together, being a part of the solution and not the problem, allows board members and superintendents to stay connected, working together to advance the achievement of our schools. So we enjoyed it. I don't know if Kim wanted to add something or not.
No, you covered it great.
But it was, it's a meeting that is good to attend, good to share ideas. It was the first time I've been at a meeting such as that since COVID. So it was just nice to see people with similar agendas and exchanging great ideas. And kudos to Dr. McCooley. She did a great job and we enjoyed that.
Thank you. It was a nice night.
All right, new business. Our first item on the agenda is home instruction students, not only playing sports, but we would like to discuss just being involved in extracurricular activities in general here at the school. Mr. Bartlett was so gracious to come up to me at the end of the last meeting and chat a little bit about it. And I reached out to Dr. McCooley, and I believe he reached out to Ray. And then I was able to send the board members the policies, some of the policies that other school districts in the county have that allow for homeschooled students to be able to participate in activities. And we just wanted to kind of put it on the floor and discuss it a little bit and see if anybody had any questions or concerns about that topic. Ray, did you want to?
I just think just to involve as many students as we possibly can, whether they are, obviously, everybody on campus here has the opportunities to get involved. And then I don't honestly know the demographic of homeschool students in our district. I can only assume there's several, and just to afford them the opportunity. Again, I have heard of other districts doing this, and as appreciate the policies being passed down from the other districts. Just a great opportunity to extend to our community. And a lot of times, when students get involved on that level, whether it be in a club or an activity or a sport, a lot of times they want more. So that's just an option I think we should explore as a board.
So I know we have a lot more students that are homeschooled since COVID. A lot of families pulled their kids out out of fear of coming to school, or they wanted more personalized learning and they didn't come back. So we do have a higher percentage than we've had in the past. So I think this is a great time to revisit this topic. I know that we would like to perhaps maybe form a committee or have Mr. Sunderman, who is our athletic director, and Ms. Kenny, our director of guidance, kind of come up with some talking points that we should address as a board. I think these policies that other districts have are a great starting piece. The one thing I was concerned with initially is just transportation, that if a student is going to participate with a sport or in a club, they're going to have to get here somehow. So they're going to have to transport themselves. But we can go over all of that and make sure that our policy is fit to meet the needs of our students here. But I think a good starting point would be getting some more information from Ms. Kenny, Mr. Sunderman, disseminating that to you to talk about and to think about. And then we can draft something and talk about it next month at the board meeting.
I think it's a great idea. More kids, more involvement, more talent. That's great.
Actually, I was, when I got the email, thank you, Ray, for asking the president about that. Just researching it real quickly when I did, I'm 100% behind it. I think that, it's an excellent idea. When I was reading through it, it's the only question I had was, and we'll get to that, is the busing and also as far as drug testing, and how the outside, but I'm all for, whatever it is, I would vote yes for it just because it makes sense.
And it's important, like Dr. McCooley said, there are other stakeholders in this besides us as a board or the students. Mr. Sunderman and Karen Kenny have some impact on this and how it's going to affect our student population. Would you like to come up and speak? Come on up.
This it's come up frequently in the last several years. Right now, doing a quick study just for interscholastic athletics, there's 47 schools in the Shore Conference right now. Of those, 35 responded to me in the last day. 7 of the 35 have allowed homeschool students to participate in extracurricular activities, meaning 28 don't. But 6 of the 17 schools, so 1/3 of the schools in Ocean County do. And in our division that we're typically in our alignment, B South, there are 8 teams and 5 do not, 3 do. So Barnegat, Manchester, and Lakewood all allow it. If we switched and did allow it, we would make the division even. There's different reasons to do it. I'm sure the feeling in the past from the Board of Education and the reason for the policy in the past was that they felt that if the students should be enrolled in the district for the educational purposes, if they wanted to be able to participate in the extracurricular activities. And the second part was the fear of taking spots away from them in the play or on a team or things like that from students who are enrolled in Pinelands. As far as interscholastic sports go, we make cuts on volleyball pretty much right now. The rest of the sports, we're not really making cuts right now. We're looking for more students to play, and things have changed, in the school climates in all over culturally recently. So it's definitely time to look at it again and to reconsider it since the pandemic and since other things have gone on nationally and regionally. Want to add anything?
When Will and I were discussing this, we definitely think it's really a great opportunity right now to take a look at this whole policy and look at the future of what we can do for Pinelands. So we're excited about this conversation.
Good.
Well, we really appreciate that enthusiasm. I know as a grandparent, I have grandkids that play sports in town, and they play on a lot of rec level traveling teams, that type of thing. And there are children who are homeschooled that is their only avenue to play sports. And to me, it seems like they should have the same opportunity as other children do. And maybe it is, as Ray says, an opportunity to make friends and get acquainted with the school district and maybe feel safer or less reluctant to enroll in the school. So I think it's a great opportunity. Anybody that knows me knows that I'm a great advocate for sports for whatever reason. And I think our children that aren't enrolled in the school who can avail themselves of that opportunity, we should do everything we can do to make that happen.
This would include after-school clubs, the activities associated with the clubs, the drama, the plays, participation in all extracurricular?
I would
Just
think
to-
so. I think we're in the infancy stages of talking about this. I don't know with a brush that we can say yes to everything. I'm not sure what activities might even require that you be in school. I'm not sure, but I think the goal is to open up as many things as possible to students who want to attend our after-school programs.
And the beauty right now is that we've had a few school districts that are doing this currently. So we're
Mhm.
able to learn from all of them how they have implemented it, any mistakes that they've encountered or challenges. So, we're really excited about the opportunity to have a conversation to see what we can change here.
I just sent a policy from another bigger high school
Okay.
district that we have
Good.
that has one. So
Great, thank you. So we'll get some information together and next meeting we'll present what we have. Thank you.
Thank you.
One quick comment. Does our school-based youth services currently service any student in the community or only our students that are enrolled?
No.
Like I know we offer services and wondered if that could be also part of what we're, if they need services and they could get them.
the grant stipulates that they have to be Pinelands Regional School District students. So that would be, I don't know if we would have any leeway with that, but that's what it does stipulate.
Okay.
Thanks, Janelle.
Any other questions or comments? Well, thank you for the discussion. Moving on to formation of the budget committee. It's that time of the year. I am so excited. And I'm really excited about going through this for the first time with Amanda. I'm sure you are equally as excited, but it's time to start working on next year's school budget. So we're looking for volunteers who might like to serve on that committee. We need 4 members. So I would suggest if you're interested to email myself and let me know that you're interested. And then we'll put that committee together. Mandy, have any ideas when you'd like to begin to meet? Yesterday?
Probably in late November, I would say.
Okay, that's usually on par.
Yeah.
So if you're interested, please email me and then I'll sit down with Mr. Dalio. We'll take a look at who's interested and we'll make those appointments and move on from there. Old business. Anyone have any old business? Okay, seeing none, we'll move on to the item number 10, instructional. We need a motion. Oh, I'm sorry. Thank you. It's good to have a vice president. Residents forum, item number 9, for agenda items only. Board policy 0167 encourages community participation in every meeting. However, the board requests that the public respect a reasonable time limit when commenting on agenda items. Is there anyone who would like to discuss our agenda item? Seeing no one, we'll now move on to item number 10, instructional. Need a motion to approve items A through G.
Motion.
Second.
Any questions? Seeing none?
Mr. Bartlett,
Yes.
Ms. Betty,
Yes.
Ms. Megan,
Yes.
Ms. Hennadel,
Yes.
Ms. Martin,
Yes.
Mr. Rosetti,
Yes.
Ms. Zimmerman,
Yes.
Mr. Dalio,
Yes.
Mrs. McVeigh,
Yes.
motion carries.
Moving on to item number 11, personnel. We need a motion to approve items A through O.
Motion.
Second.
Any questions? Give everybody a moment. No questions, okay.
Mr. Bartlett,
Yes.
Ms. Betty,
Yes.
Ms. Megan,
Yes.
Ms. Hennadel,
Yes.
Ms. Martin,
Yes.
Mr. Rosetti,
Yes.
Ms. Zimmerman,
Yes.
Mr. Dalio,
Yes.
Mrs. McVeigh,
Yes.
and motion carries.
Thank you. Moving on to item number 12, operations. We need this is a big operations amendment here, or motion. We need to approve the motion items A through N.
Motion.
Second.
Any questions? Okay,
Mr. Bartlett,
Yes.
Ms. Betty,
Yes.
Ms. Fagan,
Yes.
Hennadel,
Yes.
Ms. Martin. Yes. Mr. Rosetti,
Yes.
Ms. Zimmerman,
Yes, and I abstain from letter L.
noted. Mr. Dalio,
Yes.
Mrs. McVeigh,
yes.
motion carries.
Moving on to the report, item number 13, the report of the board secretary, business administrator. We need a motion to approve items A through I.
Motion.
Second.
Any questions on the report of the board secretary? All good? Okay.
Mr. Bartlett,
Yes.
Ms. Betty,
Yes.
Ms. Fagan,
Yes.
Hennadel,
Yes.
Ms. Martin,
Yes.
Mr. Rosetti,
Yes.
Ms. Zimmerman,
Yes.
Mr. Dalio,
Yes.
Mrs. McVeigh,
Yes.
motion carries.
There are no informational items at this time, so we'll move on to item number 15. Residents Forum for General Topics. Board Policy 0167 encourages community participation in every meeting. However, the board requests that the public respect a reasonable time limit when commenting on any topic. Anyone from the audience like to address the board? If you would, please, when you come to the podium, just sign in.
Hi, my name's Dawn Saracchio. My son Vincent attends Pinelands High School. He's in the 18 to 21-year-old program. And I have some concerns that the board needs to address. And it's discussing the Director of Special Needs not following through with the correct job placements for our children, has had all summer long to prepare for this. And I also came the day of back to school night, and first it was canceled. Then it was reinstated because I had come in here and I had had an argument with the Director of Special Needs. And also, they took a projector screen and put up an outline of the kids' school days and their job placements, which to me was all smoke and mirrors. And I need the superintendent, the board together to please get on her to fix this, because I am tired of addressing this to Mrs. McCooley and Aaron. It's getting tiring. It's very, it stresses me out, the other parents. She gets paid a lot of money to do her job, and she should do her job correctly. And I am tired of people saying, we hear you. Good, hear me, because I am sick and tired of the rigmarole that I have had to put up with the whole time my son has been in this school district. I am done. Someone better stand up and fix this problem now. They're out in an alternate building. To me, my opinion, it's isolation. They should be in the high school building. Whether anyone disagrees with me or not, I don't care. If anybody doesn't like me, I don't care. I am speaking my opinion for me and the other children and parents that have kids that go to this school. If they are on this property and they are in that building, they shouldn't even be in that building. They should be in this building. I have never saw another school district do this to these children ever. And I attended High School South, and they did not do this when I went to school, and nor does the other high schools in that county do anything of the sort. So, and also they are excluded from pep rallies, anything that has to deal with it. Why? Because they're 18 to 21, they still go to the school. Get with it and fix the problem, because I don't expect to stand up here again and repeat myself for a second time. So either she does her job, or they need to get rid of people who cannot follow through with anything that the parents ask for. I'm tired of it. The stove hasn't been connected at all. I've asked and asked and asked. It's going to go on a month in about a couple of days, and still nothing. So someone better do their job, because I am fed up, as to other parents are as well. Thank you.
Is there anyone else that would like to address the board?
I apologize that I'm in my gym wear, but Ms. Hannibal texted me. Melanie Biscardi, 5 Portsmouth Lane. I've recently moved back down to this area. Lived down here a long time ago, had to go back up to Tom's River to take care of my family. Came back down, and I have an 8th grader in the middle school in the GATE program. Just want to compliment the GATE program, Mr. Shore. I wanted to say something nice and positive and polite. And I just want to thank everybody. It's been a great experience so far. You know, having come in 8th grade, it's difficult for my daughter, but she's doing great. She really enjoys it. I want to compliment the board as well. I am a former board member myself in Manchester Township. Was the vice president, president of Ocean County School Boards Association as well. So taking a backseat to that, because primarily, you know, I've got to focus on my daughter right now. And I will be around. I would love to be involved a little bit more once I get my feet wet a little bit more in the area again. But it's a great place. So many wonderful programs. So I want to compliment everybody on that and the staff. It sounds like there's some great things going on. So it's really awesome. And my dad taught in Pinelands years ago, John Sanko. I don't know if anybody remembers John. Used to decorate the bathrooms with positive quotes and all this stuff. Love Nixon. But it's an awesome experience to come back down here. So I look forward to talking to you all. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you and welcome back.
Could I just say, I recognize the name. And the reason why I recognize the name is because when I was new to the board last year and I attended the county meetings virtually, I always had so many questions and right, that's why I recognize the name. She helped me a lot last year. Thank you. Absolutely.
And you can still attend the meetings virtually. They're still offered virtually.
I was busy last week.
Okay, that's okay. Anyone else like to address the board?
Good evening. My name is Michelle Collins Davies, and I'm here this evening because I wanted to bring to the Board of Education's attention that there is a policy that I am concerned has not been enforced, and it is a policy that I have addressed repeatedly with both the superintendent and the director of special education, and so I'm like, well, it's time to come to the board. So I started addressing it last February. It is a policy that is called it's policy 2466, the public labeling of educationally handicapped pupils. It discusses that students should not be identified by their name. The second paragraph talks about self-contained special education classes shall be referred to publicly by the name of the teacher. This applies to schedules, class lists, transportation lists, public address announcements, and any other form of communication that has any potential for exposure other than for the use of appropriate authorized staff. With that said, in February of 2022, I wrote to both Aaron Lichtenwaldner and Dr. McCooley indicating that I was concerned that posts that are on the Cat's Eye identify students as in the Community Pathways Program, that's the 18 to 21-year-old transition program. It identifies them as in that program. Sometimes their names are there. Often the skills they're working on, they're working at their Walmart with a shopping cart, working on store vocabulary. They're working on toaster skills. They're working on other things that are in their IEP. These are skills that are part of this life skills programs that then get put out on Pinelands social media repeatedly. And I will gladly send Mrs. McVeigh, I will send to everyone copies of all the documents. I wasn't going to hand it all tonight. I'll email it so that you have copies of the emails and of the posts. But the reason I'm here is because this has been violated. I was told March 2nd by Aaron Lichtenwaldner that they would no longer identify students as in community pathways on posts. Well, it continued in June. I wrote again in June. Back in June, I was told, okay, we'll remove anything that identifies the students as being developmentally or intellectually disabled. That was supposedly removed. Again, on the website today, if you go to your website right now, type in community pathways, you'll pull up the board presentation, the second slide. These are students that are intellectually and developmentally disabled. No, it's like, it shouldn't have to be addressed multiple times. You have a policy. It's not being followed. I have addressed it. I have gone through the chain of command. I am not here because I haven't addressed the chain of command. So that's why I'm standing here tonight. Additionally, you're here to help campaign this fall. 1,100 emails go out to families saying community pathways is for disabled students. I'm like, here we go again. Like it has not stopped to occur. And then I addressed it at Back to School Night. I got a phone message that they removed it from the document. Well, that's fine and good, but it was sent an email to every family. And the email, if you open it, still has that students in community pathways are disabled. There's no reason this should go out to the community at large. And we have a billboard on Route 9 saying we have all of these school-based youth services and we have an 18 to 21-year-old program. I'm not sure how that fits in. It's an academic program. It's not counseling or tutoring or anything like that. So it's a little confusing, but I am just here to say that I am asking that you look at your own policy, that you make sure that you are compliant, because I have so many posts and so many incidents of that not being the case. So it's why I'm here tonight. I thank you for your time and attention. I don't want to have to file an ethics complaint with the state, so I'm coming here first. I'm really trying to do the process. Additionally, I understand they're talking about changing the name of the alternative building to maybe Community Pathways. Once again, that's an academic program. That would not be appropriate based on your own policy from my perspective. But thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Hello, my name is Sage Roth, and my son is a student here. He's been attending school here in Little Egg Harbor since he was 3 years old. He's now 20, and he attends the Community Pathways program. And I'm not a public speaker, and I'm terrified right now, but I speak for my son who can't speak for himself, and I speak for the students who can't speak for themselves. They deserve as great an opportunity as any other student in this school. And they've not been given a fair chance at developing their skills to the fullest extent of their abilities. The program is supposed to be a job sampling program with life skills. The jobs are difficult to come by.
they're not prepared in advance. I know there's a lot of red tape for new jobs. It's difficult to find businesses that are interested. But knowing that the jobs should be organized and set up in advance, have the jobs ready for next spring. My son started in the Community Pathways program in the summer of 21. He's had one job since then, and only one. There was talk over the summer of another opportunity. I said, great. 6 weeks into the school year, I'm like, when is this going to happen? And if it's not going to happen, let him go back to his other job. So finally, last Wednesday, he got back to work. And his classmates were so genuinely excited that he finally got to work. This is the nature of the program. It's like, how can you start any K to 12 class in the beginning of the school year without a curriculum? Their curriculum is work, sampling, that's part of their life skills. The other thing that I'm frustrated with is the building. Before, they were housed in a little unit that was next to us, next to the Pinelands High School. Now they're supposed to be in a true postgraduate program. So now they're in the alternate building. But it's not a true postgraduate program because they need Pinelands for so many different things. They're on the buses with 7th to 12th graders. And so they're in this building and it's supposed to be a mock apartment. There's nothing mock apartment like. It's no different than any other home ec room that has kitchen facilities. It's supposed to have a laundry room. What they have is a stackable washer dryer unit right in between the dishwasher and the stove. And this is for like 9 or more adults. I believe they can have up to 11. And how they work on laundry skills with a stackable unit, and they've got like cooking all around them. 9 students are supposed to be there learning how to prepare their breakfast and their lunch. There's no space to work. The room is overcrowded with all these little tables. And for the living room, it's a couch that's staring at like a whiteboard. It's not a mock apartment. So it is what it is, but I'm offended by a description that's made to the public that's not accurate. And, you know, I give my heart and soul to making kids feel included. And when I saw this in the beginning of the year, it was like a knife to my heart. The description of the program that my son is in, published to all, that he is intellectually disabled. So now I can't really even say to anyone who asks, oh, my son's in the Community Pathways program, because I'm labeling him. Now it's known. It's for the intellectually disabled. And they're not part of any community now. They're not allowed into the building. They're not allowed to participate in any of the school activities. So now I'm told that their peers are just their fellow classmates, the 9 students. And it's pretty sad having all the wonderful things that activities and dances and after school clubs, that they're not welcome to participate in any way. So that's all. If someone could take a look at the program, go check it out, you know, see what's going on out there. I really think that they could do better. Thank you.
So if I may, to the board and to the parents that are here this evening, I do thank you for your feedback and for always texting me, emailing me, keeping me in the loop about everything. I think that we are very lucky to have an 18 to 21 program. A lot of school districts don't have this. Of course, it's going to evolve. It's going to get better. I also know that we had some turnover in our teacher, and our new teacher is amazing. So I have the utmost confidence in her. She's experienced. She has worked with all types of students. So we hear your concerns. I would like to have our policy reviewed by our attorney and their staff. I know that another attorney in the firm specializes in special education. And Ms. Davies, I can forward your information, or if you want to send it back to me, I can forward it right to Cooper Levinston, have them review it to see what their thoughts are on that. And then I also would like Ms. Lichtenwalner and Mr. Beaton, who works, really hard on this program, to present next month some of the data, some of the, what were some of the challenges of finding the work for them? What are some of the progresses that we had in that building? Why are we, housing that 18 to 21 program in a separate location? What are some of the activities appropriate for them in terms of their age? And then what aren't, that may be more grade specific? But, I see your kids here. I have visited out there a few times. I hope you believe me when I say they seem very happy in the program, but we can always do better. So I do appreciate your feedback.
Anyone else from the public wish to address the board? Okay, we'll move on to board forum. Ms. Fagan, are you still with us? Chrissy,
Yes, I'm still here.
would you like to say anything in board forum?
Just wanted to congratulate Miss Nooner. She's awesome and she deserves everything when it comes to this. She's just a great person. That's it. That's all I have.
Thank you. All righty, Zimmerman?
Yeah, I just wanted to say around school spirit, I forget who mentioned it before, but phenomenal at the football game. And Rich DeMaro, is that how you say his name, Dr. McCooley? The
Yes.
new announcer is so great at the football games. He's so optimistic and he really gets everybody into it. So it's so great seeing all the school spirit there. So I'm really looking forward to homecoming this weekend. And then in addition, thanks for all the great presentations with a lot of great information. Appreciate it.
Mr. Rossetti?
Thank you for the presentations. Congratulations to JAG. The homeschooling policy, definitely we need to look at that. Looks like something that needs to be changed, in my opinion. And I apologize just from hearing about the 18 to 21 thing. That's the population that I teach. So it's a little, I hope it's something that we could fix. And or at least look at, rectify, see what's going on, etc. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Bartlett?
Just, yeah. It's always hard when members of the community have difficult things to say. I do appreciate them coming and sharing their heart here tonight. And, I appreciate your comments too, Dr. McCoy, to see what we can do, where we can improve. Never give that perfect score, right? Just always trying to achieve to the next level in whatever area that we're looking at. So, and yeah, just progress, moving things forward. It was great to hear from the kids again tonight. Emily Racheski rocking out on the microphone there. That was great. She did a great job. And especially just hearing her report on the Pinelands experience, always good to hear. And hey, wake up back there. Yeah, wake up. Principal Shore. Yes, that's you. Hey, it's a long day, right? It's a long day. So we appreciate that. And yeah, we'll see you guys next month. Good luck at homecoming Pinelands football.
Thank you. Sound it out?
Thanks for coming as well. It was a great presentation. Just congratulations to Maureen. She's amazing. Good luck to school-based. On Wednesday, we have there is a Senate hearing, so we're hoping for the best there. And to all your presentations, amazing as always. And that's it.
Ms. Martin?
Thank you for all the presentations. Thank you to the community members that came out. And also, I just wanted to say how exciting it was at strategic planning to begin with. I thought I was going to be late. I wasn't. I was able to attend. It was just really amazing, regardless if it was a teacher, a principal, a board member, a community member, text, did not matter. Every paper around room had students, success of our students on it. And it was just awesome to see and hear that pretty much everyone was able to list and talk about their dreams and goals for the district, but most importantly for all of our students.
Thank you. Miss Betty?
I don't have much to add. Everybody said some pretty cool things, but I think I have a unique perspective having two recent graduates from Pinelands, and because I'm a high school teacher, I'm involved in a couple of high schools. And I just want to say, I am so impressed with what we're doing here. I mean, I'm not just flashing sunshine. I'm literally going, wow, nice job, people, really. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Dalio?
Thank you, Madam President. I want to touch on one thing. As far as the Pinelands experience, I like how that's going. My only, I guess we can address it as it goes, and it's infantry, again, continuing on with this. It's in Medford, right? Is there any reason why it's not Bass River? I mean, we used to, when I went to it, we had an overnight stay.
They have like a whole curriculum there and they have like a ropes course and I
Oh,
think it's
they had
just
stuff
the-
like that too, over when, you know,
Yeah,
we
I
did.
think it's just the activities that they have there and the program they have.
Is there any movement of making an overnight thing, or is that still one day?
So we have not heard that they're looking towards doing that yet. I know Michelle really has been spearheading a lot of this and Eric's standing up, but I think we're doing small steps at this point.
Mr. Short.
Just wait a second. I want to make sure you know there's a 3-minute time limit.
Yeah.
Duly noted. So the next step was obviously getting the Pinelands back. So we had we had to take a hiatus for a year. We did 2 last year. So the next part of our conversation is to try to bring back high school chaperones. High school chaperones was a huge piece of that because they basically facilitated group when it was the overnight. So I think the conversation has to be with Mr. Henderson, the high school, obviously Dr. McQueen, the board. The next phase would try to get the high school chaperones back. So it's student on student with adult kind of oversight. So, but
So it's a work in progress.
it is work in progress. Yes, for sure.
My experience, it was the overnight and the chaperones and the
Yep.
teachers. I remember it like it was within the last year. That stayed with me till this day.
Yep. So I think I would feel comfortable with that, trying to see if we can't get some of, I think when we talked about it, the current group, I forget what we talked about, but the latest group, I think when they come to the high school would be that first group that had the Pinelands experience back. So that's where we would try to
Awesome.
bring back some of that kind of tradition. Kids that went through the program to bring back and kind of, you know, serve the younger grades. So
Thank you very much.
under 3 minutes. Thank you.
Yeah, and as far as the 3 parents that came and spoke to the board, you know, I know that's not easy. And it takes a lot of courage to get up, but when you're advocate for your kids, I understand. One of my sons had an IEP, so I do understand when they feel like they're an outcast. So it does hit you hard in the heart. So I mean, when a parent takes the time to come up and address the board publicly, you know, I mean, I feel their concerns. Am I out of line? I haven't seen the alternate school in years. Can we tour any individual, like the president, myself?
If you want to make an appointment with Erin, absolutely, she'll take you through there.
Okay. I mean, that's really all I have. I do appreciate your answering to the parents. Addressing. Thank you very much. That's all I have.
Thank you. I'm just going to try to cover a couple quick dates we have coming up. October 24th to the 26th is the New Jersey School Board Convention. Everyone, our board members are presently registered for that. So if you get a chance, you should have gotten an email in the last couple of days. Review the programs they're offering. If you wish to attend, you're eligible to do that. November 8th is Election Day. Please come out and make sure you vote. November 15th is our next strategic planning. It is not too late to get involved in that process. And we would love to have even more people come out. This is hard to believe, but our next meeting is November 21st, was just a few days before Thanksgiving. So the fall is quickly passing by. And with that, I'd like to thank everybody, all the administrators that are here tonight, my fellow board members for your time and energy. Sometimes it's a thankless job, but it's very much appreciated. And with that, I would like to have a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? We are adjourned.
Hey, Will.